Ferrari. This won Le Mans this year, beat out everybody, and I've got one here. This is the one we're going to talk about as our finale. Here's the Ferrari. I apologize right now that the reds don't match with my tablecloth. One thing to note, you see all the logos, you see the brand names and everything on here. It's one of the interesting things about getting these kits from AliExpress is, of course, they're coming from China, so they're not overly worried about copyrights or trademarks. And so you do get an awful lot of ornamentation you wouldn't otherwise get because they're not paying any licensing fees. So, what are you going to do? So this is the 499P. This also debuted 2 years ago, same time, around the same time as the 963 Porsche did. Difference is this won Le Mans on its first try. And then the next year, in 2024, it won Le Mans again. Spectacular race car, and this particular kit compared to the 963, which, like I said, is very kind of chunky and simplistic in the way it goes together, this is intricate. It's a really great model. I don't remember what the part count is between the two, but this definitely feels like it's got a lot more of attention to detail and a lot more stuff going on, even though it doesn't have the cool taillight that the Porsche has. So it's pretty sturdy, really good, very playable, just like the Porsche is, with one exception. These rear view mirrors, while they look very, dead on to the way they would look on the real car, they are just stuck into a little indentation there, and they come off super easy, like that. That's literally how easy they come. So I'm just going to take them off because I'm going to knock them off otherwise. So let's talk about this. It's got that nice chunky bottom to it. This one's finished, whereas the 963 was not finished along the bottom. But the reason for that is so that they can get this extra detail here. There's that mold line again, or that sprue dot there to let you know that these aren't Lego. Because Lego don't really have that. And of course the studs don't say that either. There you actually can see on this one, see how it has it as well. But anyway, so this is kind of a cool detail. It really matches the original car, having that gap there. So that's why they finished that off. While we're looking around the bottom, look at the front spoiler here, the front air dam. Now what's really probably hard for you to see, well, there you go. See the daylight through there? Can you see that? It actually goes, you actually could channel air through this, through the nose of this car. Like it goes all the way through. There, see my finger? I think that's really cool. You're not getting that effect probably as well on video as you do when you're looking at the actual model, but that's really, really kind of a cool detail. And then when we go around to the back, it's got that big rear diffuser. This Ferrari kit is all about those angular ground effects to it. It's really, really interesting that way. And in person, it just looks so aggressive. So I'm going to pull off this top bit, and you can see how that's put together. And then there we can look in. It's got a little Italian flag there. And there you can see that air channel kind of coming through there, just like on the real car. Really interesting. Now this one, just like the other ones, these are stickers that are supposed to depict holes in the bodywork. If you look at the real race cars, you see the tires like through the bodywork on there. And I think on the Porsche, I didn't mention it. I'll bring it back in here for a second. See this? On the real Porsche, you would see tires through there. And you would on the front as well, but I don't know why they didn't do it there. I think the Lego one, the Lego kit does show that. But that's what that, if you find a picture of these in real life or go to a race, go to Watkins Glen. Well, no, actually, no, the Ferrari's not at Watkins Glen, I'm afraid. But go to a race, and you'll see that these in the real cars are cutouts for, and you can see the wheels right through there. Let's look at the cockpit before I get too carried away here. This being a newer race car, of course, it has that same yoke in there, just like the other one did. Not really much of a seat, but you can put a minifig down in there and it'll fit. Interesting detail here is the doors that are on backward. Now they don't open, but they do give you, well, a way of attaching the windshield, and they give you a kind of a handle effect. Now I'll point out this one also, it was cut at the factory, so you just pull out that bit before you attach the sticker, which is cool. It is hard to get it on perfectly straight or perfectly flat, as you can tell, because you attach it on the top and then sort of like wrap it around the side, and by the time you get to the bottom there, it doesn't really want to go. It will be interesting to see how these stickers hold up over time. There's an era when Lego stickers were really, really bad and peeled and flaked off like crazy. And what makes this so much of the styling on this Ferrari look like a Ferrari are the stickers. I mean, stickers are a huge component here. You know, none of this yellow is done with brick. Well, I guess there's a little brick in there to catch that right at the bottom there. If we pull off what would be the engine, okay, you can see that there are two little bricks there to sort of continue that stripe. But overall, all of the styling on this car, as far as the markings go, are done with stickers. So if these stickers start failing, then this is going to cease being a Ferrari and it's just going to become something else. And then there's some ears. So interestingly, when I ordered this, there's a couple different liveries being how the cars are marked, in case you don't know the term. And the one I thought I was getting is the one that has the yellow mirrors and the yellow rear spoiler, because I thought that would be a really cool contrast, and it looks really good because it looks really good with the yellow stripe. And then this one came up, and I was building it. And I think it's red back here on the one with the yellow spoiler. I think this part's red. I forget. But as I'm putting the car together, it's asking for pieces that I can't find. And then I realized, oh no, they're actually depicting the color scheme, the livery, on a different car than the one that's in the directions. So they're fortunately close enough that I could figure it out. But that kind of was kind of amusing. I do love that little Italian flag under there, though. Oh, I forgot to mention that, like the 963, the Ferrari in real life has a turbocharged V6 in it. And it's a hybrid. You would think a Ferrari would be a V12, if anything, but it's not. And that's one of the things that's interesting about the race series is you get naturally aspirated cars, V8s, V12s, mixed in with these twin-turbo V6s and hybrids. So there's a lot going on. There will be a naturally aspirated V12 next year, and it's going to be an Aston Martin. None of these come with paper instructions, but what they come with is a link to a PDF. Now, this might vary depending on who you buy it from. I won't send links or include links because I just can't. There's so many variables as to what's available when. But when you do get them, what you'll notice is that the instructions are very much done in the Lego style, and they include where the decals go and things like that. And I find them very easy to follow. There was, in the case of the Jaguar, and I think in the case of the 956, some questions about colors sometimes because they were a little bit off. And if I can find it, I will give you another example. So you'll see on the Ferrari, that is black, not yellow. So sometimes there's weird little things like that. But otherwise, these are very easy to follow. You could print them out if you really needed to. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tour through my Lego race car garage, even though, as we discussed, they're not Lego. But gosh, they're pretty cool, and I hope that you are going to be watching IMSA and finding yourself some interesting things to build regardless of who makes them.